Save, edit, copy, print to featured. There we go. Hello, good morning, everybody. I'm making some changes here. All right, we got people already hopping on. Hey, hello, everybody. I said good morning. It's noon here. I'm just getting it set up on the Facebook page here. So y'all come on in and we'll get started here very, very, very shortly. All right, there we go. Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm just getting set up. Hey, there's Melanie right there. Audio looks good, or looks good. Audio sounds good. All right, there we go. And I got that set up. And there is Joeth Seski. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's up, John? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. So you are actually in, are you in Pennsylvania, right?
I am. Well, right now I'm in Texas, actually.
Oh, okay. I thought you were. Oh, you were in Pennsylvania. Wait, did you go to Pennsylvania?
I did.
No. You did?
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
I can't keep up with your travels. I can't keep up.
I know. It's okay.
Man, so yesterday was a fantastic day here. We talked about, obviously, mindset beliefs. We talked about income goals. We talked about $20,833.33. How that is all you need to attract every month to hit $250,000 a year, and how that's very, very obtainable. It's just a matter of how that how you look at that number. So. And then we dove into the VIP room and covered a lot of questions there. I talked more about mindset there. And then Coach's Corner, where we had my sister, Johnette, who just did her first deal. And I'm taking a note here. I need to disperse funds for Luke. All right, I will do that today. So, all right, so let's get started here. We've got a lot of stuff to cover here today. I'm really excited about this. We're going to do email number 1, 2, and 3 for $1 million deal. And Heather, who is in California, our dream partner, just got a phenomenal application for a deal that's $125,000 option, I think.
I saw that. Yeah.
So we're actually we don't just walk the walk. Or is it talk the talk? We walk. We do something. We do deals. So, hey, so before we get started here, I know you were busy traveling yesterday and helping some students yesterday. So, our dream partners always take top priority. Yesterday, we didn't get to introduce you because you were involved with helping some students and then traveling. So, why don't we start off today? Just to introduce you, I'll kind of set you up here. So sure. Everybody, we're joined today by Joe Seski. Joe Seski is my coach. He's the gentleman that helps all of our dream partners meet and exceed their desires in real estate and get them really going pretty heavily into real estate and lease options. As a matter of fact, he is tonight on Coach's Corner. We have 2 students. We have Heather and we have Mike O'Hara. Both those are students that Joe has worked with. And yeah, the reason I want to bring them on, one is because Heather just got the application for $125,000 assignment fee, but also because Heather's in California and Mike's in Hawaii, 2 areas where people would think, oh, you can't do it there, John. California has too many A's in it. I can't do it there, right? It's too expensive. You can't do it in Hawaii, right? Whatever. So I'm bringing on 2 dream partners that are doing deals in places where you would think, oh, You can't do it there. Wah, right? So anyway, so so Joe, you are the coach that coaches the Dream Partners, our
Correct.
students.
Yes.
So I'm going to let you kind of tell everybody your story about how you came to, or how you found the, if you will, the leasing to buy, the lease option class model, if you will, the leasing to buy model, what you did with it, and kind of bring us up to speed.
Sure. So nobody wants to hear about me, but so I originally bought your course back in, what was it, 2010, somewhere around there, while I was in college learning biology. So I actually went to school for a degree in that. But while I was going to school, I kind of took a step back and was like, is this really what I want to do with my life? Not science. I love science. But more so, do I really want to work? And this sounds cliche, but do I really want to work a 9 to 5 job and make 40, 50K a year and not have the freedom to do what I want? You say I travel so much, I have that luxury because of real estate, because of you. And so I bought your course, 10-ish years ago. And I started implementing it in Pennsylvania, and I was doing lease option assignment deals for the next 10 years up until about 3 years ago, where you had reached out to me and asked me if I'd be interested in coaching some of your students. And I said, hell yeah. I've been doing this for, 10 years. I'm ready for, a change here. I love lease options. I love doing the deals and helping people. But, you presented me with that offer, and it was, something, who else has the opportunity to do that, right? And so for the past few years, I've been working with the Dream Partners to help them do lease option deals. And here we are.
Yes, you and I have been working together for a few years now. You're the coaches the Dream Partners, and you've you've helped so many people get their feet started, kind of get their start in real estate. Yesterday we were talking about the difference between wholesaling versus lease options, and of course, you and I just recorded a funny ad that I'll be sure to post inside the Facebook group later today. But when you're working with students, what are some of the commonalities, in the sense of, when I'm working with someone, the vast majority of people that come to us, it seems like they've bought a real estate course or 2 or 3 or 4, but yet haven't done a deal, haven't really got any traction with it. Is that what you see with the students that you work with?
Right. And yeah, for sure. And a lot of it comes down to a lot of these other courses, and I don't want to speak badly of anybody else, but you don't get the full picture half the time. You're getting bits and pieces, and you kind of have to assemble it. And with us, okay, you need to do A, B, and C, and you'll do a deal. You'll make money. So it's very clear and concise. Our instructions are clear. You're more, this is why our personalities works well, because you're more creative and you like to tell stories. Whereas I'm go and do 1, 2, and 3. And if you do that, then you'll succeed. Right. But what stops students the most is probably fear, over analysis paralysis. I could give you all of the bits and pieces, all the knowledge, but you might be hesitant to kind of take action. I don't want to actually have to talk to someone. I thought I could sit behind my computer, and for the most part you can. But a lot of what I do on a day-to-day basis is kind of pushing our Dream Partners and holding them accountable.
Yeah. And the students that I work with, I push them really hard out of their comfort zone. I do it intentionally because like we talked about yesterday with mindset, is the person that you were, and the mindset that you have to get you to where you are right now, is not the person that you are going to need to be, or the mindset that you're going to need to have to get to where you want to be. So if someone is making 100,000 a year as a number, but they want to make $250,000 a year, okay, well, they're going to have to change the way they view some things, the way they think about some things.
If you want different results, you need to do something different, for sure.
Yep. So and that doesn't matter what level you play at. This morning I'll probably play a video by Grant Cardone that you've seen, where he's an undercover billionaire. But to operate that level, they have to have a different mindset, but they have to always be pushing themselves to to get to a different level. So even with you and I, with what we do with real estate and with our students, we know that next year, 2022, we want to make an even more powerful impact, take it to a whole other level. Well, you and I both know that means we're going to have to, push our comfort zone.
We have to step out of our comfort zones.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, so I'm going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to start the day off with going through $1 million deal here. Actually, I tell you what, I'm going to break down. I'm going to do a little recap first because I know it takes.
I don't know anything about this. What's the story then?
Well, I'll cover it. Let me do a little recap from yesterday. Then I'll dive into this. So I'm going to share my screen here. And click that button. Did you say you're in Texas?
I am. Yeah.
Where?
Wouldn't you like to know?
The world would like to know, Joe Seski. Wherever you are, they keep they have beautiful bookshelves, but nothing to put on them.
Yeah, it's a boardroom at a Hamat. They let me borrow.
All right. Okay. And with that, John has no more questions. All right, let's get started here. So again, I'm going to go through this $1 million deal here in just a little bit, but I want to do a little recap here. Some quick housekeeping. The recordings are on the Facebook group. You go to this group that you're in right now. You go to the featured tab, the navigation field at the top. Someone posted today they could not find the featured tab, but and I get it. So I get lost too sometimes in Facebook and other apps. But the gentleman that had posted, hey, I can't find the featured tab. He had to post that literally right below the featured tab. So Facebook is always changing things up. But right now, so everything goes into the featured tab. Like when I start a video, when we go live, you'll see me on my phone. And what I'm doing is I'm tagging or pinning this video to the featured tab. So there's a featured box and all the videos are in there. For the VIP, within 24 hours, typically the same day, but because of the Coach's Corner, within 24 hours, all the videos are put into the VIP room. Now, if you are not part of the VIP yet, you definitely want to do that because Thursday we're going to be calling the VIP seller leads live in the VIP room. So you want to go to leaseoptionvip.com, leaseoptionvip.com. You're going to get recordings of every day, every training. They're going to go into a Google Drive. You can have them forever. We're also going to have documents. The documents that you'll see today, my 3 email campaign. You're going to see all the emails go into the VIP room, or the VIP Google Drive. The seller price sheet, the comparison sheet, and the lease option calculator. A ton of stuff is all going into the VIP section later today. So if you're not VIP, it's a whopping $47. Okay. It's definitely not a profit center for us. You go to leaseoptionvip.com, leaseoptionvip.com. Again, all the recordings that are going into the featured section. If you're not VIP, just so you know, all the recordings come down Monday. They come down Monday. VIP, of course, you get lifetime access. And like I said, now we are closing down the VIP registration tomorrow. So today's your last day to become VIP, lease option VIP. It's $47. Now tonight, every night at 6 p.m., we have Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner, where we bring in 1 or 2, maybe 3 students, current dream partners, and they talk about their first deal or where they are, et cetera. And you can ask them any questions that you have. Last night we had my sister Johnette on, who her first deal just funded yesterday morning. So she was able to talk about, how she got her first deal and this and that. So really good. That's really powerful information inside the Coach's Corner. So you definitely want to make those 6 p.m. Central back here in the Facebook group. Lastly, if you have any questions regarding access to things, if you're part of the VIP, but you don't see the VIP link to access everything, or any question like that, contact Melanie. Melanie's inside the group here. Her email address is support@leasingtobuy.com, support@leasingtobuy.com. All right, day 2. Remember, part of your homework was to print off your workbook and start taking this seriously and writing down what are your financial goals. What are your financial goals? And I like to break it down on a monthly goal. If your monthly goal is $20,833.33, which is $250,000 a year, how many deals do you have to do? And Joe, you work with partners, and yesterday I was explaining to everybody that we about every year we allow about 50 or so dream partners across the country. And so we have dream partners across the country, and so you are working with all the dream partners. So you're seeing some of the different option fees that they're getting, and I like to use the number 12,000 as kind of the baseline for the average option fee. But I'm seeing, and maybe you're seeing the same thing as well, where the option fees are actually getting higher and higher over even the last year. Are you seeing that on average, the deals you're seeing?
Yeah, 12 to 15,000. But I mean, the option fee is calculated and based off of the option price, which is the sales price. So obviously, as home prices increase due to the market and inflation, those option fees will go up as well.
Yeah, and so I use the figure of 12,000 just to be very conservative. Yeah. So if someone wants to make $250,000 a year, and the average is $12,000, they've got to do about 1.7 deals a month. Mm-hmm. And yesterday we were backing that number into how many sellers you have to talk to per deal, per contract. And I put the number at about 20 conversations. You need to have about 20 conversations with sellers to get a contract. Obviously, that's going to fluctuate a little bit. For a lot of our students, it's less than that. But to be very conservative. So the question is to everybody on this call is: are you willing to have 20 conversations for $12,000? Right, and that's the question that I posed to you. And so, how many price sheets does that equal? Right, and on average, about 8 to 10 price sheets are going to get a contract for the most part. Yesterday we had the video of Robert Allen and I, where Robert was talking about until one is committed, there's hesitancy. This is out there for you all because this is the actual saying he was quoting, and you all can search for a commitment quote, and this will you'll find this on Google. But it's very powerful. He says, until one is committed, there is hesitancy. The chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness, concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there's one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance which no man could have dreamt would have come his way. And I'm going to stop right there. Again, this is absolutely true, and it's so powerful. Until one is committed, there's hesitancy. So when Joe was talking about how one of the biggest things we see with new students is their fear, with all that fear, it creates hesitancy. Remember yesterday I said, the next time you'll have an opportunity, even this week, and you have an opportunity and you're hesitant, and you go, well, I want you to stop and think about what are the 6 words that are going through your subconscious. Is it, yeah, but, what if only? Yeah, but I don't know enough. Yeah, but it's almost December. I mean, you could come up with any what if, yeah, but it's almost Christmas in a month. Well, right. What if it doesn't work in where I live, which is silly. If only I had more information. Which is that having more information is what kills everybody. Stop thinking you need every single T crossed and I dotted.
And not only hesitancy, commitment, you touch on a good point too, the shiny object syndrome, right? Yeah. I mean, I can't keep, if your attention span is, I need a new course every week, you're not, they could all work, but you're going to fail.
Yep. Absolutely. Knowledge comes in 2 forms. And this is what everybody on this call needs to understand. Knowledge comes in 2 forms. Knowledge is either an information is either comes in the form of, oh my gosh, I need to know that right now, or it is in the form of, oh, that's interesting. I'll kind of keep that on the bookshelf and I'll take it down when I need it. The problem that so many people have with paralysis of analysis is they think that every bit of information that's possible, that's out there, falls in the category of, oh my God, I've got to know that right now, when it doesn't. I would say probably 80% of the information out there on any subject is not a category of, oh my gosh, I need to know that right now, right? Like, for example, later this week, I'm going to Orlando. So I'll actually be broadcasting, doing these, our Thursday, Friday call from Orlando to meet with Rod Cleef, who was very big in the multifamily space. Well, as I learn more and more information about multifamily from Rod Cleef, I, even as an educator, have to keep in mind, oh yeah, I don't have to understand every bit of this right now. I just need to know what's next, right? What's the next step, right? So you've got to be committed. So I asked this question yesterday. I posed this question yesterday: is, are you committed? I guarantee you. I asked this question yesterday, Joe. I said, how many people here? I actually asked this in the VIP room. I said, how many people in this VIP room have bought a course or 2 or 3 courses, but you haven't done a deal yet? And there was a number of people that have bought courses, but they haven't done a deal yet. And I showed the levels of the comfort zones.
Yeah.
And and until you're committed, you're going to fail. So the question is, everybody on this training this week, are you going to dabble or are you committed? Are you going to stick around through this week as Joe and I pour a ton of information out to you? Share a tremendous amount of information, show you real case studies, let you talk to real students doing real deals. Are you going to go, wow, well, that's neat. Now I need to go buy another course, right? Okay, I'm going to go watch YouTube now. So the question is, are you committed? And I love this saying is, my greatest competition is the person I was yesterday. Strive to beat the person that you were yesterday. And that's in any aspect of your life, whether it's a business, financial, relationship, anything, is beat the person, be better than the person that you were yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be talking about the recap of yesterday with the financial goals. One deal averages $12,000 a year. So one deal every other month is $72,000 a year. One deal a month is $144,000. And I was asking everybody to set that number of what it's going to take to set them free. And I love this post that some people think that 100,000 a year is impossible. Some think 100,000 in a month is a bad month. Choose wisely who influences your thoughts. And this morning I made 2 posts inside the group. One of them is on this deal where there's a $100,000 option fee that I'm going to show here in just a second. Then we have Heather, who's a student in California, that just got a phenomenal application, one of the best I've ever seen. That's a $125,000 option fee. Other people are going to think, well, that $100,000 is not is an ethereal number. I can't imagine that. Other people think, okay, yeah, 100 grand, that's about a month, right? So choose who influences your thoughts. We talked about the 6 words that kill. Yeah, but what if only? The conscious brain and the subconscious brain, about how the subconscious brain stamps every idea you have with hesitancy, right? And when you're committed, though, when you are committed, you're going to bypass the subconscious. Your subconscious is trying to catch up to go, no, wait, yeah, what if this happens? What if this happens? Yeah, but you don't have all the information, right? And you go, whatever, dude, I gotta go. I got things to do. I got to take action. That's exactly what Grant Cardone and the billionaires and Undercover Billionaire were doing, is they were taking action so quickly that they bypassed the subconscious. This is a great picture right here. I'm going to leave that up there for a second. So this gentleman, some of y'all may know who he is. Some of y'all may not. It's Ross Hamilton. Ross Hamilton is the owner. He was the creator of Connected Investors. He's a privatelenders.com, also Connected Investors. He just sold his company to First American Title, who is the behemoth of data provider in the nation. He sold it for $100 million. $100 million. So I was in I was in North Carolina. I was in North Carolina a couple of weeks ago at a mastermind, a very, very small mastermind. It's very similar to the one that we have for our dream partners. And I'll talk more about masterminds over the course of this week, but they're incredibly powerful. Remember, who do you want to be around? Show me the people that you surround yourself with, and I'll show you the kind of person that you are. Ross Hamilton just sold Connected Investors for $100 million. he came by the big house that we'd rented for this mastermind, and he talked to us about the sale and also about the struggles that he faced, about how there were times where he couldn't make payroll to his developers. And he said, if I just need you to finish this, and this, if you just finish this and this, we'll be good. And his developers had faith in him and finished the work. So the point is, when people see or hear about somebody like Ross that, oh, they made $100 million, they think, well, that must be nice.
Yeah, they're not somebody different than you.
Yeah.
There must be something unique about him or something.
Exactly. And they don't see the garbage that he went through, the headaches, how many times other companies tried to beat him down and stop him, right? Because they felt he was a threat. Well, he sold his company for $100 million. Now, this is phenomenal. One of the things he showed us his original notes out of a notebook from where he had developed or envisioned connected investors. He also had you can see that newspaper article about the Audi RS7. It's a red Audi RS7, right? And he just loved that car. He just fell in love with that car. So he cut out that article, right? Do you see the car he's on? He drives now an Audi RS7. That picture right there is very powerful. I hope everybody understands how powerful that is. When I talk about designing and visioning your future and what it is you want to be and where you want to be, this is absolute proof of how powerful having a vision is. So when I talk about this, about the workbook and about filling out, hey, write down what is your financial goal? How much per month do you want to make, right? There's power in writing that down. There's power in having a vision board. There's the car he drives right there, the RS7. Phenomenal story. Wonderful guy, wonderful guy. And it's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. I think that sums it up, Joe, with so many people that come to us that are struggling, that have hesitancy. I think one of the biggest things that causes hesitancy is who you think you're not. Well, I'm not worthy of this. Well, I'm just, $100,000 a year or $250,000 a year. That's just for somebody else. That's not for me. I'm not worthy of that.
Yeah, I've never had a student or a dream partner have a mindset where they can't do something and then they did a deal. If any dream partner or student who thinks they can't do it, they never do. It's those that believe and never give up that always succeed. But there's nobody out there that self-doubts themselves or are scared and then succeeds. You have to, you have to self-manifest your vision and your goals.
Yep. And Joe, when you don't have to have all the answers right now.
That's what we're here for. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. When I look at 2022, Joe, I've got some ideas, but I don't have every single piece of the pie figured out of, here's exactly, and here's how I'm going to do it. I've got some general ideas.
What are you thinking then? That's crazy talk. And you want to do something. Yeah.
But it's okay. But I'm still going to move forward on it and let those ideas develop and still push forward on it. But again, it's, you don't have to have all the answers right now, especially when it comes to like real estate. As Joe said, when it comes to lease options, that's what we're here for. It's to fill in those blanks. Just do what's necessary today to get to the next step. For a change, you must get uncomfortable. There's no doubt about that. Anything you want to do in life to get to the next level, you've got to get uncomfortable. It's on the edge of destiny that you will be tried. I wish I would have had a recording of Ross Hamilton talking about how many times he was up against an immovable object, developing connected investors. But then he would bust through that wall and boom, he'd take him to a whole other level. Master the processes, the outcome will happen. Again, when people come to us to learn real estate, to learn lease options, they tend to want to have every single question or every possible hypothetical scenario figured out in their head, right? when it comes to golf, let's use golf as an example. There'd be a Tiger Woods or, a very, very successful golfer. They have a coach. So it doesn't matter how good you are, you need a coach. I have coaches. I have more than one coach. I have multiple coaches that help me, that I pay a substantial amount of, I invest a substantial amount because I know I'm worth it, right? But when a golfer, Tiger Woods or whomever, they have a coach. They may spend 4 hours in a day with a 9-iron at 100 yards out. All they're doing is practicing that shot. Boom, boom, boom. They're mastering that process. When you first learn to play golf, you don't get up in the tee box and go, well, I hope I get it in the hole. They can't even see the hole, right? So match the process, the outcome will happen. When people are working with myself or with Joe, we don't bring them on day one and go, okay, hey, welcome. I'm glad you're a dream partner. Now, here's how to calculate debt to income.
Right.
What?
Yeah. You wouldn't put a first-year med student in an ER surgical room,
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So we're giving you information as you need it. What's next? What's next to get you to where you need to be? All right, here we go. Working with we're going to talk about 3 different types of lease options, lease option assignments. This $1 million deal we're about to do right now. So here, I'm going to share my screen. 30 Lindy N Lane. It's $1,024,000 property. So I'm going to take this slide off here, and I've got to go to my text messages to get this email address right there. Okay. So let me back up a little bit here, and I'm going to show you something. So one of the things that we teach our dream partners, tomorrow we're going to get into marketing, heavy on marketing. But one of the things we teach our dream partners is direct mail. Now we have some dream partners that haven't done any direct mail and are doing deals. That's fine. I love direct mail for me. It's so easy for me to do, right? And I don't have to spend a lot of money on it at all. So what I did was one of the things I do for direct mail, which we'll get in more into tomorrow and Thursday, is I pulled over 30 lists, or over 30, 60, or 90 days on market. These are houses that have been listed for over 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. Now our dream partners have access to a software platform called Property Snatcher that we may show you that a little bit tomorrow, but it allows us to pull this data for any county in the United States. And so what I did is I pulled that data. I just simply pulled a list of I can tell you exactly the list I pulled. Over 90 in Harris County is what I pulled. And Harris County is in Houston, so you'll know. So I sent off, and I wish I could remember this mailing. For this property, it was either this Street View postcard, which Joe loves a lot, and I like it a lot because it's not very expensive.
Well, I created it, so yeah, I'm a little partial.
Joe created the Street View postcard, so he's got the patent on that. Boy, wouldn't that be great? I wish you had the patent on that, Joe. I should patent this. I've also got the TRIFO brochure that our dream partners use, but this is a couple of the mail pieces that we use. And so what I did is that, first of all, I pulled the list. Hold on just a second, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Great thing about being live and the dog has to go out. All right. So we use either a Street View postcard, one of these Street View postcard or a TRIFO brochure. So I pulled the list. I sent the direct mail to this list. It was about 700 pieces, I believe. Then what happens is the sellers, the homeowners, call us. Hey, I got your thing in the mail. Just wondering about how this works. And then we have a conversation with them. Matter of fact, let me see here. I was wondering if I had a. There's the attorney that called. No, I thought I may have a voicemail from a seller. But the seller calls. Hey, I got your thing in the mail. And then we, call them back or whatever, and we get their information. And we'll ask them, is your property sold for sale? Yes, it is. Okay. Well, how long have you been trying to sell it? Oh, 3 months, 4 months, whatever. All right. How much are you asking for the house? $1 million. All right. And, do you still live in the house or is it vacant? In this case, the lady said, well, it's my parents and it's vacant. So, so when she said it's her parents, I pretty much assumed that the parents didn't speak English, which is fine. So I said, okay, well, let me send you a couple of emails. Let me get your email address and I'll send you a couple of emails. So here's the process that we use. I do the same exact process that our dream partners do. Once I get their email address and a little bit of information, like what are they, how much are they asking for the house? Is it sold for sale? Is it occupied, unoccupied, whatever? Let me get the email address. I then send email number 1, which is how does the lease purchase help? Which I'll show you here in just a second. Then I send email number 2, which is with the seller price sheet, which is right here. Then I send email number 3, which is the contracts. Now, typically what I'll do is I'll send email number 1, email number 2, it's copy paste. Then after I send email number 2, I'll call the seller the next day. Hi, I just want to make sure you got the price, the numbers, the preliminary numbers I sent you, et cetera, et cetera. And make sure they got them and all that. See if they have any questions. Then if they say, no, everything looks good. Typically, the very first question is, how soon can you find somebody? And which is typically the first question. Then I'll put the contracts together and send those to the seller. In this case, I talked to this lady a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago. I don't remember exactly. And didn't hear back from her. Okay, no big deal. Well, then I get a voicemail from an attorney saying, hey, my name's Fred. I'm an attorney representing the homeowners on this house, blah, blah, blah. Want to get some more information from you. So they have they have a friend who's an attorney that they just want to have review everything and make sure everything makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. So what I told the attorney was, let me send you the emails that I would normally send the seller, just so you have everything. Now the attorney actually already has the price sheet, but I'm going to go back, 1, to make sure he has everything, 2, to show you all the step-by-step that we do with these sellers, because nothing is different about this. And this is when I talk about copy paste, this is what our dream partners do. It's copy paste. It's literally copy paste email. So I'm going to show you my screen here. And this is going to take a little bit longer than normal just because I want to make sure that you see the steps here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing this because I've got to get my email up here. Okay. Let me get his email address again. And I'll share my screen, Frank. At fylawfirm.com. Okay. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. I'm just going to share my entire screen. All right, I'm going to check on here, make sure y'all can see it okay. All right, so email number 1 is how does the lease purchase help? What this is, it shows the seller just kind of basically what we do and how it works. So this is my first email to the attorney. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to put the property address.
Is it just me, or does Joe look bored out of his mind? I'm not bored. I just do this every day.
Did someone ask that?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's the thing is that, guys, I've done this for 18 years. Joe's done this for a long time. This is not like, I don't go, oh my God, I'm sending a price sheet. Okay. I mean, you do it so long. It's like, yep, we're just doing it, doing it. It's literally copy paste, guys. So here's the deal. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put a little note in here.
What are you doing again, John? You're
What I'm doing is I'm about to send email number one. Now, normally I would just do copy paste. In this case, because he's not the actual seller, I'm just letting him know, hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm letting the attorney know, hey, I'm sending you. I know you already have the price sheet, but I'm going to go ahead and send you everything because he got the price sheet supposedly from the sellers, but I didn't send it to him. So I want to make sure the attorney has everything he needs, so he's not here going by hearsay. Okay.
did you put together a price sheet already with the group
Yep.
yesterday, or okay?
I did this 2 months ago.
Oh, okay.
About 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, but the attorney just called me last week right before I was going out of town. So, so what I do is I use sticky notes. Let me see here. And these copy paste emails that I'm using on my sticky notes is what Mac calls it. IP, you're going to get these emails to use. I'm going to attach. How does lease purchase help? Right here. I'm going to attach this attachment to this email. So there's email number one. Email number one is how's lease purchase help. Email number two is a seller price sheet. I thought about you last night, Joe. Karina had to drive Jake back to school yesterday, so she was driving through Ardmore like at 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my god. So here's email number two. With email number two is the seller price sheet. I'm going to show this to y'all. Here is the price sheet for this property that I put together. They're asking about $1 million for this house. And this house is worth about $1 million. It's a little over $1 million or so. They're asking $1 million for it. So what we do, and I'm not going to go into how we set the figures right now. We can cover that later. But we typically are going to raise the price a little bit by what the owner is asking. In this case, I've got it at $1,024,000, and you'll see this option fee right here, $100,000. That's what our buyers are going to bring to the table to put down on the property. Now, we typically give the owner part of our option fee. In this case, because it's a $100,000 option fee, I'm not going to give the owner $2,000 and think he's going to be okay with that. What I did is I just split it with him. I get 50 and the owner gets 50. Okay. And we can go through what these numbers mean. Wednesday or Thursdays, we go into marketing and setting the numbers and stuff. But for the purpose of today, I want to show you this price sheet. This is what we're sending right now. So so here is the email I'm about to sending. I'm going to go to this copy paste email, edit, select all, edit, copy. And I'm going to put in the numbers in here. I'm going to put a little disclaimer, just a little note up here because he's not the seller. So, what's going on here? I've got too many windows open. All right, so here's the email number two. You'll see the option price as $1 million. Now, one of the great things about being VIP or being one of our dream partners is you get a lease option calculator that actually would spit all these numbers out for you. There you go. So here's the numbers. Now, this is a perfect example right here where people's brains blow up and they think, I don't understand what John's doing. I can't do this. Right, Joe? Especially even like a new student, they go, well, I don't understand. How do you get these numbers? And I can't do this.
Right.
And the point is, you don't have to understand exactly what I'm doing here, but I just want you to understand that to see how easy this is as far as the steps. If I literally copy pasted this email, when it comes time, we show how to set the numbers. It's actually very easy. And that's something that I think, I'm pretty sure of, that, Joe, I think you and I are the only educators out there, for whatever reason, that teach how to set the numbers on a lease option.
It seems that way.
I don't know why that is. So here's the email number 2, seller price sheet with the email. So I'm going to send that. Boom. So now the attorney has email number 1, 2. The next to do is I put the contracts together. Now, normally at this point, I would call the seller. Did you get the email? Do you have any questions, etc.? In this case, because this is the attorney, he's already seen the numbers. The next thing he really wants to see is the contracts, right? So I'm going to pull up the contracts here. Now, first, before I pull up the contracts, I need to pull up the owner's name. I've got Lido Distribution. I'm going to pull up the owner's name. So how do I do that? How do I find this? Joe, how would you recommend that I find who the seller is?
You could use Property Snatcher, right?
You can use Property Snatcher.
You could go to the tax assessor site.
I could go to the tax assessor. Yep. So here's Houston County Tax Appraisal. All right. So the owners are Lydia and Lyra. I'm sorry, Alfredo and Lydia Lyra. I'm going to go ahead and print this. Okay. Now, why do I need their names? Well, I need their names to put in the contract. So here are our contracts right here. Now, someone asked me yesterday, maybe in the VIP, or maybe on Coach's Corner, I don't remember, if I will put in the VIP section. I do not. I absolutely ever have, or will give my contracts away for free, simply because I've spent over $30,000 on it myself through different law firms and attorneys. And so I know for a fact that the documents that Joe and I use are the absolute best lease option documents out there, bar none. Matter of fact, I'd be I'd be scared as heck to use somebody else's documents. Joke one-page document.
Yeah. No, we have a bunch of sellers that send the agreement to their attorney for review, and 9 times out of 10, unless the lawyer is trying to, prove something, they always respond, "These are the most airtight, documents I've seen." They're actually impressed.
I used to sell my text documents on a CD, a whole course, years ago, 2005 and 6, and for $1,000, and real estate attorneys would buy it from me.
I bet.
Let me see here. So I'm going to put in. This is not going to be super fascinating to watch, but you're going to see how quickly I can get these contracts together. 6230, Lindy and Rain. Seven. All right, so our documents auto-populate with all the numbers and everything. So it makes life super easy. 1695. Oops. Fix this.
And John, the hotel needs this boardroom back in about 10 minutes. I'm going to jump off, but I'll see you this evening. Okay.
Okay. Are you going to be able to make it for VIP here in a little bit?
I'll probably be in the car if you want me
Oh, I
to.
got you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But then I'll see you on Coach's Corner. Okay.
I'll let you know. All right. Thanks,
Okay.
John. Thanks, everyone.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I know that we're running longer than normal on this call, but that's okay. You all get to see an actual contract. All right, so you're going to see the numbers here. These are the exact same numbers that I put in the price sheet. And I'm going to go and put today's date, 30th. It is the 30th, right? Yeah. There you go. And I'm just going to do that. Pretty much does it there. Oh. I'm going to save this, save as. So I've got the contracts done. And you're going to see our contracts for Texas are 20 pages long. Now, some people go, oh my God, John, why would you send a 20-page document to a seller? They're going to freak out and go, oh my God. In 18 years, I've never had a seller go, I got the contracts and seems like they protect me too much. Can you remove some of the verbiage that protects me? Really? I'm sorry, John. Listen, I got your documents and they're just too thorough. I'm not going to be able to work with you. Yeah, people freak out and go, John, how can you send a seller a document that long? Don't they freak out? No, it's a house. It's their biggest investment. Try sending them a one-page document and see what they say. Something that you got for free off the internet. So these are our documents right here. Now I'm going to send this with email number 3. Email number 3 for Texas is right here. I'm going to hit copy and I'm send this final email to Fred. Frank. By the way, everybody that's going to be joining us in VIP, obviously, as you can tell, we're running a little bit behind here but this is very, very important stuff. So still rest assured that after we're through today, we'll go to VIP. I'm anticipating it's going to be about 1:20 before we get to VIP, okay? All right, so this is about to go to the attorney. There's this, there's that. Boom, boom, boom. Attach. There's that. All right, so we did it. We did it. Let me go back to here. and stop sharing. So we just sent, so just to recap, we sent email number 1, house lease purchase help, email number 2, email number 3. We sent these to the attorney that whose friends / clients own the property at Lindy Ann. I'm going to staple this, and then I'll call Frank tomorrow, the attorney. Just because it's almost 1 o'clock. I'll call him tomorrow, give him time to look at that. So there's going to be a lot of questions here. Let's try to cover all those either in the VIP room after this or on Coach's Corner tonight, because I've still got a lot of stuff to cover here. Okay, let's get back to. I'm going to go back to my actual slide presentation here, because we still have some stuff to cover here. What's funny is somebody had signed up for the Masterclass, and then they asked a question in the Facebook group. They said, "Why is it 5 days long?" I started to say, "Because if we did it in 1 day, your head would blow up." Because there's just that much stuff that we want to share with you and teach you. So there was that deal on Lindy Ann. Now, there's 3 types of. I know I've covered a lot of stuff today. I hope y'all are all in VIP, because I'm going to answer a ton of questions coming up next in VIP. So there's 3 types of lease options. There's a straight lease option, a sandwich lease option, and a lease option assignment. What I specialize in is the lease option assignment. Those documents you just saw refer to lease option assignment. And most everybody on this call, on this training, if you've tried to get started in real estate, you faced the same hurdles that everybody else has. That you thought you needed money or credit to do real estate, or you have to know how to estimate repairs, or you need a lot of time to do real estate, or that everybody is your competition. And I can assure you, with what you're seeing this week, none of those hurdles exist, because you don't need money or credit. There's no repairs to estimate. Nobody's my competition. What is a lease option? We talked a little bit about this yesterday, but again, a lease option is simply a contract that gives your company the right to lease purchase the home and then assign that to the end buyer. So like when right here, this is an application we just got from Heather's buyer. This buyer wants to lease option this house in California and is willing to put down a $125,000 non-refundable option consideration. That goes to Heather, our dream partner. She is going to assign that contract to that buyer. So we simply write the lease, put the contract together. You just saw me put that contract together. We then market the property with signs in the yard, online ads. We put on leasing to buy, everything. We put on Facebook Marketplace, etc. So we're working with nice houses in nice areas. Here's just an example of the signs that I use. There's Lisa, my neighbor, my ex-neighbor, who knew nothing about what I did. And I was in the car with her. And anyway, the point is that literally from a ride in the car, as we were going to put signs in the house, to 2 months later, she made $22,000 from starting from nothing. So I got a video of her that I'll show you probably Thursday. But those are the signs that we put in the yard right there. But again, so we were simply marketing the property, which we'll go into more in marketing the property on Friday and closing the deal. But who are these sellers? Again, these sellers, people think, well, why would a seller be willing to do this? Why don't they just sell it? Because they can't. They've tried to sell it. But John, this is a hot market. Not everywhere, right? When it's a hot market, it may be a hot market in little pockets of neighborhoods within cities, but not globally, all right? So who are these sellers and why are they a lease option? Because these sellers are people that need a plan B for their house. They've tried to sell, maybe tried for sell by owner, for rent by owner, tried MLS. The house hasn't sold yet. So, these sellers can't just sell to any investor, because most investors are going to offer them 50 cents on the dollar. They can't do that. That's where we come in. We're the doctors of real estate. So what are the options for sellers? Well, plan A is to sell for full price quickly, right? Plan B is a lease option for full price and cash flow. The problem is real estate agents don't ever tell them about plan B because they don't know about plan B. And the seller doesn't know about plan B. They think plan B is MLS, hope for the best, or rent it out, become a landlord. We come along and say, hey, I know you want full price. I know you want cash, but I've got a lease option. Let me show you how it works. We are plan B. So the advantages to the seller for using a lease option is they get full price, no negotiating, no commissions, serious buyers only, right? Do you think someone putting down $125,000 in a house is a flaky buyer? Oh, by the way, his credit scores, high 700s, 833 was his high score. 833. 833, 777, 777, 795. Yeah, think he's a deadbeat? No. These are the kind of people we're working with on the buyer side, which I'll talk about that. The buyer gets a home warranty on the house, so everything's covered, no repairs or anything. The owner's monthly cash flow, maybe $300, $400, $500, $600 a month cash flow. And we do short-term lease options. We do 12-month lease options. That's very important to understand. We do short-term lease options. So it's a no-brainer for the seller. On a $400,000 house, they're going to make about $4,000 more offering it as a lease option, right? Then MLS, hope for the best. 24, that's a brand new car, guys. Okay. That doesn't even include the cash flow. And because of the benefits of lease options and because you are plan B, guys, I'm telling you, this is 1,000 times easier than doing wholesaling because you're not beating down the seller. You're not negotiating and beating them down. You don't have to convince a seller to utilize a lease option. You're not, it's totally different than negotiating. And I love analogies, okay? And I'm from Texas, so I love Mexican food. So I never have to convince the sellers to utilize a lease option. I absolutely never do. Here's the thing. Let's assume the seller wants enchiladas, okay? The seller wants enchiladas. He puts a sign in the yard for sale by owner, got his arms crossed. He's waiting for enchiladas. He's waiting and waiting, looking around. A month goes by. A couple of tire kickers. 3 months go by. No enchiladas. He's getting hungry. And now his house is empty. He's had to move. Still no enchiladas. I come by and I just simply say, hey, Mr. Seller. I send him a postcard. I send him a trifold brochure. I go, hey, Mr. Seller, I know you want enchiladas. That's great, but I've got fajitas. Full price, no negotiating, cash flow. I've got fajitas. Maybe you want them, maybe you don't. Remember, I'm the doctor. Like my sister was saying yesterday in Coach's Corner, she's simply listening to the seller and writing a prescription. It's not up to me to force the seller to take the prescription or to eat the fajitas. When the seller sees there's no enchiladas coming, they love the fajitas. So you get to help them by becoming the seller, helping the seller that can't sell and the buyer that cannot buy. You're helping sellers that cannot sell and buyers that cannot buy. It's a win-win-win situation. Now, there again, you're probably thinking, well, John, I bet they ask a lot of scary questions, don't they? These sellers, they got to be tough to talk to. Nope. Number one question that sellers ask every single time. I guarantee you, when I call this attorney tomorrow, matter of fact, he already asked, the attorney already asked me that property I just did. His number one question was average time frame to locate a client or buyer. This is an email I got a couple of years ago from a seller. John, hope you had a great weekend. See questions below. Average time frame to locate a client or buyer. What is he asking? What is he asking? He's asking, how quickly can you find someone? He's asking, how fast can you bring the fajitas? You see, when you're talking to these homeowners that have their houses on the market for 30, 60, 90, 120 days or more, and they haven't sold yet, and you send them a text or you call them up. Johnette yesterday was saying that she just called up sellers. They're asking her, how fast can you bring the fajitas? How fast can you help me? How fast can you write that prescription? And look at this. This is the house that seller had. So you see my sign in the yard right there. The seller is still trying to get enchiladas. I said, let's try to get fajitas. Boom. We're working hand in hand together. I'm helping the seller. I'm not fighting against the seller. I'm not his competition. I'm there to help. You see, you've got to change your mindset to understand that you're in a position to help sellers, not beat them down, negotiate. Your objective is to help sellers. And you help them by saying, look, I know you want enchiladas. I've got fajitas. So who are these buyers? A lot of people may think, well, John, I bet these tenant buyers you work with, I bet they're a bunch of deadbeat losers, aren't they? What if they tear up my house? No. These are people that have typically owned a house or two, right? But they just need a little bit of time. More and more, you're seeing people that are self-employed. And employed people, when it comes to financing, lenders don't really like self-employed people because we don't claim enough on taxes. And so the people we work with typically just need a little bit of time to get financed. So I'm very picky about who gets into our houses. I screen them all for our dream partners. Our dream partners get to use leasing to buy. The applicant goes to our website, fills out an application, and we process it for our students. So our buyers typically have 620 or above FICO scores. We look at debt to income. These are very, very qualified people, but they just want a little bit of time to get financed to buy the house. So they may have been divorced at some point in the past. Maybe they're self-employed. Maybe they're relocating. Doesn't matter, but they're just looking for a little bit of time. So again, what are you doing with the lease option assignment? You're helping sellers that can't sell and buyers that cannot buy. You are the doctor. So here, I want you all to take out your phone or take a picture of this. These are steps of lease option assignment. You go do the marketing to the sellers. You get their email address and you send the two emails, email number one, email number two. Then you call them. Hey, did you get the numbers? Do you have any questions? What's the number one question they have? How fast can you bring the fee to us? Well, it typically takes about 45 days. Great. What's next? Let me send you the contracts. Click. Number 3, send the contracts. Number 4, market the property. Our dream partners use leasing to buy. We use Facebook Marketplace, signs in the yard, those types of things. Then we assign the contract and collect the fee, collect the option fee. That's it. Nowhere on there does it say beat the seller down and negotiate with them. Nowhere on there does it say skip trace the seller. Nowhere on there does it say skip trace the seller's closest of kin and try to get a hold of them and negotiate. Nowhere in there does it say walk the property and estimate repairs, right? No, this is it. This is what we teach every day to our dream partners. Now, I know I'm running late today. I know I've covered a lot of stuff today. Hopefully, most everybody on this call is a VIP member because we're going to be answering a lot of questions on VIP coming up next. Plus, we have one of our VIP members sent me a lead or a couple leads on some properties he wants me to take a look at. So we'll look at some actual properties in the VIP room. But every day, and today, and again tonight on Coach's Corner, we're going to have Mike O'Hara and Heather from California and Hawaii. So definitely want to be on that call. Heather's the one that just got this application for $125,000 option fee. So remember yesterday, I said, one of the things I'm going to do at the end of each day today, end of each training, is suggest a book. Guys, if you're not listening to Audible, if you're not using Audible, you're missing out on a whole world. You need to constantly be feeding your mind full of great information. So when I get in my car or when I'm flying on a plane or whatever, I don't listen to music or anything. I listen to Audible. I listen to different books on Audible. Yesterday, the book I recommended was 1 Minute Millionaire. This is the book that got me started. Go to Amazon today if you haven't and buy this book. It will change your life. The book I'm recommending today, I read it while listening to the audiobook, Who Not How. Who Not How. No, why would I say who not how? Because normally, in almost every case, if you're presented or if you're facing an opportunity or a challenge, you're going to say, well, how am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? How can I achieve that? How can I accomplish that? Normally, when you're asking the how, it's the wrong question. You should be asking who. Well, who do I know that can help me get to where I want to be? Who do I know that can help me, that has already done, say, real estate? Who do I know that has already built a $5 million a year company? Who do I know, right? Not how, it's who. I see that so much in my life. It's not about how great I am or how special I am. It's about who I've surrounded myself with, who I have chosen to associate with and surround myself with. So Who Not How, that's the book for today that I highly, highly recommend. And tonight, 6 p.m. Coach's Corner. You're going to hear from actual dream partners. And I hope everybody on here, you understand how powerful the Coach's Corner is. I'm calling it objection obliteration. Bring me your freaking objections on why this won't work. Bring it. Bring it. Let's see if you got the guts to do it. Bring it tonight, 6 p.m. Tell me why what we're teaching our dream partners doesn't work, right? And get to hear from our actual dream partners, like Heather and Mike. They're in California and they're in Hawaii. Some people think, well, this will never work in California. Houses are too expensive. Really? Tell Heather that. This would never work in Hawaii or California, you know? Well, hear about it tonight, 6 p.m. Central, right here inside the Facebook group. Now, tomorrow at noon, we're going to be going over multiple ways to market to sellers. Now that you understand, we're going to, of course, recap over lease options, lease option assignments, how those are structured. Then we're talking about, well, how do we market to the sellers, right? So tomorrow at noon Central. But do not forget, 6 p.m. tonight, I want you all, this is your opportunity to actually talk to and ask dream partners your questions. How did they get their first deal? How did they talk to sellers? What marketing were they using, right? Ask them. They're here for you. All right, guys, thank you so much. I know we probably had a ton of questions, but I'm running behind for the VIP room. I know we've got so many questions. I hope y'all that have questions in the VIP room. If you can't make it, come to the 6 p.m. Coach's Corner. I definitely want to use that opportunity to answer any other questions that you have. But this was a ton of stuff. Hopefully y'all got a lot from this, seeing the 3 emails that we actually send out. Hopefully that was a huge help for you all. I know we've got a lot of questions and comments. So, all right, guys, I've got to run. I've got to jump over to the VIP. Everybody's in VIP. I'll see you on there in about 60 seconds. All right. Take care, everybody. And I'll see you on VIP or tonight at 6 p.m. Coach's Corner. Take care.